Yeah,
So
exactly. Sup, boys and girls? Just doing convo review right now with
yo,
Safety.
yo, hello everyone.
It just goes smoothly as hell to the call, which is nice. Just get set up right here. How's everyone doing? Cool.
Lovely stuff. I can't hear any of you guys. You guys are on mute.
Yo,
Yo, Alfonso,
what's up,
Yo,
Matt? Let's
Alf.
go. Good to see ya.
Good to see you as always. I know you're just a couple meters ahead of a couple meters apart from me.
Yeah, you're like 5 minutes away.
Yeah, I think I can see it. I'm joking. Guys, like,
Imagine.
we literally, if you guys don't know, Alfonso is with his twin brother right now in the Philippines. And he's literally in like 5 minutes away from me, like condo. So if I really tried hard, I could probably see him out my window. So we could have, I could have just gone over to his house, little sleepover. I'm kidding.
Yeah, because that's what we do here in Manila.
Yeah. Wait, hey, no party like a Diddy party.
Yeah.
Oh, how's everyone doing? How's everyone's week? Jiro, I see you're in the gym, my guy. Been getting after it. What's that planet? What's that? 24. What's that? Fitness first or anytime fitness or surge? Hang on. What is it? Fitness first? Oh, okay. I can't hear you, but where are you from? Where in Manila? Are you from, bro? You just type it if you can, because I know it's loud there. Oh, QC. My guy's in QC. Oh, Twins Fitness. Twins Fitness. No, you're in QC. That's pretty sick. Bro's in Fairview. Sheesh. He's in Fairview. He's up north. We're not that far away from each other, G. So yeah, keep grinding, bro. I know you're in the gym right now. So just do your thing. It's fine if you're on mute. But yeah, boys. Check the chat room. Yeah, Fairview. My guy's in Fairview. Okay, we got the other twin here. It's not a glitch. It's not a glitch. There's
What's up,
this
boys?
there's two of them. Not one. Okay. What's up, Mateo? If you
What's
guys
up,
don't know,
bro?
Mateo did what's good, bro? Good to see you. Um, Mateo did one of our previous calls as a guest, and it was a banger. Bro made an entire presentation out of it, which he didn't need to, but as you know, like this is what you gotta know about the bands on Twins, not to glaze, but they go above and beyond all the time. So thanks for that. It's like that call went down in the history books. So Alfonso's gonna have some big shoes to fill. Kidding, no pressure. But yeah, that was a banger. If you guys didn't watch the recording, it's in the recordings. But Alfonso here, he doesn't do agency, he does high ticket closing. So this is gonna be more related to what you guys are trying to aim for, which is good. This is why I wanted to get him on. He can talk about appointment setting too, for sure. His bread and butter is high ticket closing. So if you can, yeah, bro, if you could just we'll keep it casual. Like we're not gonna do something too formal. Like first section of the call, however long it needs to be, we'll just introduce yourself, let these boys know what's up, and then you can start giving sauce, and then you guys can actually just let's just do Q&A mainly towards Alfonso about sales, about objection handling, about appointment setting, mindset, his story, like moving from Australia, like anything, guys. This is you have the whole next hour to do so. Okay, so let's get it kicked off. I know we're 8 minutes in already of yapping, so let's go.
Yeah.
Congrats,
First
bro.
thing, well, just like my brother, I had to do a presentation as well. So I actually cooked one up for you
Oh
both.
my God.
Oh,
This.
Had to. You know the
Oh,
drill.
now we are talking.
okay.
Um, let me share
Okay.
my screen. I will walk through like my tips, what I showed you guys. I have a lot of respect for Matt. I know he's doing good things in the appointment setting stuff, and you're in safe hands with Matt. And I knew I had to like step up when I came here. And then we can ask questions at the end. I'm more than happy to help you guys out because you'll probably find out we're actually a lot similar. Like I'm not some crazy, crazy guy or anything. I'm just like a normal guy that just worked really hard to get to where I'm at. Um,
Yeah.
so I'll share my screen.
Yep, yep, yep.
All right. Can you guys see? Can you guys see the screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can see the
yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
Just
So this
setting
is
up.
my story from broke uni dropout to closing $2 million in cash. So
Sounds familiar.
I'm not a millionaire yet. I make as a closer 10% plus bonuses, so it may be close to like 15%. And I've done this over 14 months. Okay. So what this call is about is just to tell you guys what I would tell like my younger version of myself. So I'll show you, although that I've had some success, I'm not some like special crazy guy. I'm probably more similar than you actually think. And it'll be about like my stories from beginnings to where I'm at now, what actually changed me to be successful, the top like 1% sales mentality as well. I think it's quite common between the top guys. And also at the end, I'll give you some interview sauce because I actually interview people myself to join my offer for like sales, appointment setting, and closing. So who is Alfonso? So I'm the twin brother of Mateo. I had to shout out my brother. We're 21 years old. So I was born in the Philippines and moved to Australia when I was 7 with a single mom and two brothers. Okay. So I've always been interested in online business since I was actually in high school when I was 16, which is in 2019. I never actually fully committed to myself properly until 2023. And that was high ticket sales, what I actually properly committed to. I've been closing full time since June of 2023, and I'm starting to do sales management. So I'm managing a team of 10 plus appointment setters and closers right now. So that's sort of my role. I'm still full time closing, but heading towards the management side. So my credentials, like, why should you even listen to me? So I make multiple five figures a month in take home commissions. This was last month, for example. Been in sale for 14 months. My third month, I did hit $10,000 per month. I've collected over 1.9 million in just upfront cash collected. So that's not including like rebills and payment plans, or also bonuses, commissions. That's just upfront cash collected. And I'm grateful that I can work wherever I want, whenever I want. I'm currently traveling around Southeast Asia right now in Manila. Been hanging out with Matt as well. I've also spent a lot of money on courses. So I know what that was like for me. So before making money online, nothing crazy. I worked at McDonald's in high school. I was in uni studying finance, cybersecurity. The reason I picked it was because in Australia, it was common to like land a job because it was in high demand, whatever. I was good at finance, but not good enough to be top 1%, which is investment banking. That's where you make like, 300K a year, 500K a year plus. I also hated it, even though I was like pretty good at it. And with cybersecurity, it was quite a large skill gap. You have these guys who've been coding since they were 2 years old, and you have guys like me who like just started coding. Thank God I wasn't failing anything, but there was a massive fail rate and it was very frustrating. Honestly, the reason why I did it, I have an Asian mom, kind of was just chosen to go down to uni like everyone else. And it just sounds really good on paper, right? Finance and cybersecurity. That sounds good. The reality of the situation is that you're only going to be earning 60 grand a year straight out of uni, which if I worked full time at my retail, hospitality, I'd kind of earn the same amount. So I kind of already knew like I didn't want to do it. So at the time, I was working at like a liquor slash alcohol store. I don't know what you guys call it in your countries, but in Australia, called like a bottle shop. While at university. So I had like I can talk about my experience there, but to keep it short, it was quite unsafe work. People were stealing all the time. There was no security. It was quite dangerous. You get alcoholics coming in. I would see regular people drink their life away. I'd hear people struggling and hearing about their stories who come in and buy a bottle of whiskey every day. I also had older coworkers who were alcoholics themselves. Like it was not the nicest environment, but I learned a lot, and I'm very grateful I worked there. Also did laboring work at a warehouse, like physical jobs. kind of like, yeah, unloading sea containers, just manual labor, hard work. I knew I didn't want to get paid per hour. I just only wanted more money, but I knew I was kind of limited by the jobs I had. Okay, so this is before Money Online. This was kind of me. So pretty average guy, right? So now this is me online money before 2023. So I actually bought my first course about running an animation agency when I was 16. I think I spent maybe $500 for it on a payment plan on like a 3K program. I paid like 6 months installment. I actually refunded after the first month because I was like too scared. And I just wanted to like download all the videos and or like watch the videos and not actually pay the rest of it. I've always watched tons of videos on dropshipping, affiliate marketing, crypto, all between 2019, 2022. I never actually ran like a store properly in terms of dropshipping and affiliate marketing. I just built websites, looked at products, thought I was being productive, right? Like doing a bunch of research. But I never actually fully committed to running a store or never buying another course, or I never ran ads. I never paid ads. So I would have a sick website and look at it, think I'm productive. When really I wasn't doing shit. Also did lots of crypto stuff, was gambling. Didn't really know what we were doing. Made a lot of money, but kind of lost more. You know, got scammed, got rug pulled, made good money. It's quite degenerate, but that's what I was doing before. And then it sounds kind of dumb now thinking about it. But in end of 2022, my brother and I, we decided to run digital, we ran agencies, except we run separate ones. Our plan was to like both do our own separate agency, then whichever one was more successful, we'd kind of go all in that one, which is a retarded plan if you actually think about it. We should have just stuck together at the same thing. I think what drove us to do all this, Andrew Tate definitely was a huge fire, like seeing on social media, just lots of guys making money. You're like, we need to make something happen. Okay. But here's what the biggest concept that I want you guys to learn. It's called, I like to call it the moment of realization. Okay. I learned this from my mentor. So I always knew that I didn't want a regular 9 to 5. That, you know, I hear lots of people saying that, but I don't actually know. I didn't really know why until I actually experienced it. So I'm sure all of us here, you'd be in this call because you don't really want to do the 9 to 5, right? So I felt like I was kind of a feather in the wind, letting my life blow away with like no control, meaning I would let life push me to do where I want, like go to uni, do this job. I was never actually taking control of what I wanted to do. So you need to have the facts on your situation and you must expand on it and be 100% clear on the facts of your situation. So for me, my moment of realization to actually commit to an online business was I was at uni. I hated it. Okay. Doing online class just to earn a 60K job a year and graduate, be stuck in an office, being depressed and 9 to 5. That scared me. Okay. Living paycheck to paycheck, 60K a year, stuck in the office, can't travel. I didn't want to work at a warehouse because in my experience there, people are breaking their backs. They'd be alcoholics. They would smoke cigarettes every day, waste their life away, and always be complaining, always in a bad mood. And they're working just to work and pay bills, sleep, do the next thing. That scared me. Cost of living going up. My savings not going up that much. Worrying about money. Like although I was working jobs, and I was earning. If I worked full time, sometimes I would earn close to this per month. If you do, or close to 5,000 a month or whatever. I knew that if I fucking graduate in uni, I'd earn 6K a year anyway. So I knew something needed to happen because my savings weren't going that much because of the cost of living and stuff. It's hard to live out here these days. And also being stuck in my hometown. Like I'm from Perth, Western Australia, and I've been stayed there since I was 7, really. Never really moved anywhere, never really explored too much besides going back home to the Philippines every once in a while. So that's why I knew something needed to change. But do you guys see how it was 100% clear to me and it's not like surface level. This is what I want to get you guys to know. Um, Even though I had this moment of realization to commit to an online business, I still wasn't 100% committed. Okay. So, like I said, it's very important that you know these realizations specific to you, which I'll touch on later. Um, so even though, like I said, I had this moment of realization where I needed to do something, I still didn't. And the reason why is because nerves/limiting beliefs. I think it's like mostly nerves, but a lot of it is limiting beliefs too. So, for example, I was nervous about investing my hard-earned money and into an online business and it not working because I spent hours, right, trying to build up my savings. I was scared about investing time and seeing no results because I could be maybe studying, I could be having fun or working more jobs trying to earn money the safe way. I was nervous about what my friends and family would think. I don't know about you guys, but besides my literal identical twin brother, I didn't know anyone in real life actually making money online. People talked about it, like, yeah, oh, this drop shipping thing. Oh, I saw this guy making money online, but no one actually cared, like me. So, um, yeah, I felt like I didn't have, I made these limited beliefs. Like I felt I didn't have enough time to commit to something. I felt like I had no energy after doing, serving customers or doing warehouse work. I felt like, oh, let me commit to an online business properly once I graduate uni. Let me just do this shit on the side kind of thing. Or like, oh, let me just enjoy my late teens, early 20s. Let me just drink and party and smoke weed, the usual stuff, right? This is what I realized on later, which I'll touch, but it's actually okay to feel nervous or scared to commit to something, even once you've committed, to keep going. It's okay to feel nervous or scared, because if it wasn't supposed to feel like this, everyone would literally be millionaires. Okay, so nothing great in this world was ever built by someone who wasn't a little bit nervous or scared at first. So the key here is that you have to feel those nerves, but still do it anyways. Okay, everyone that became successful I know had to do the same thing, and they had the same stories. Think even Tate talks about this. Alex Hormozy, right? But it's just like when you go to the store and you're buying candy for the first time as a receptionist, like speaking to the cashier. Like I remember I was super scared the first time I ever did that. But now I do it. I don't even think about it. I just do it, right? Same as driving for the first time. I remember hopping in the car for the first time. I was super nervous of like crashing. Is it gonna work? Am I gonna have to pay my money, my mom, because I'm gonna crash the car, right? But then now I'm driving. I don't even think about driving. So feeling those nervous is okay. Feeling those limiting beliefs, it's okay, but you're supposed to do it anyways. That's the whole point. Okay. So this is a story on how I got into sales. So my brother and I were actually running two separate marketing agencies. We bought two separate courses, funnily enough. We thought that was like a good idea. So my twin brother was more committed than me, and he invested in a mentor. And that mentor told him that his bottleneck in his agency was sales. So basically, Mateo, who's here, he told me, get into sales, learn more rather than doing an agency, so that when we do work together in an agency, I can know sales and we can make more money, right? That was the thought. So this is a story on me buying the sales coaching program. Okay, so my brother's mentor at the time said his sales mentor. So my brother's mentor's mentor was starting a sales coaching program. And he said, do you want to join it? Or do you want to look to see if you're a good fit, right? And this was the first ever cohort of the program. It was a new program. There was no case studies. It was just a dream. It was just text on screen. It was just a video, right? Saying, we'll do this, this, this. You'll make 10K a month, blah, blah, blah. So obviously that guy invited me to a Zoom call with my brother. Anyway, I didn't realize at the time. I thought he just asked me questions, see if I was a good fit. But then he did sell me into a 4K British pounds program, or he tried to, right? Which is, for me, in Australian dollars, that's 7.8K. That was a lot of money for me. Of course, I was extremely nervous, extremely scared. But, because I guess my brother referred me, I was kind of ready to take a risk and I had some savings. The problem here was I physically did not have money in my bank account, because I actually gave my money that I earned to my mom to put into the mortgage account to lower the interest rates, right? So I didn't have that physically on me, the 7.8 thousand AUD. So when he was asking me for payment to join the program, I said, I need to ask my mom for funds. And it's funny looking back, because I'm a sales guy now. He tried to like objection handle me to see if I was actually being legit, but actually was being legit. And it's funny to look at now, because I hate it when people give me parent objections. If I try and close someone, they're like, oh, let me talk to my mom. I'm just like, oh, but I'm like, wait, I was that guy as well. But mine was like actual logistical. So anyway, my mom's in the other room. I speak with her and I'm like, hey, mom, you said whenever I get, whenever you need me, the money, like you'll give it to me, right? Well, can I please get my 7,000 that I gave you to help pay the mortgage? And she's like, sure, how come? Or she's kind of like, sure, how come? She's a bit skeptical, like, why would you need 7 grand all out of the blue, right? And why the whole 7 grand? And I was like, yeah, well, I want to buy an online coaching program. Anyway, I don't want to get into the full story. My brother can speak on this. He was there. He saw the whole thing. But long story short, my mom was in corporate sales, and she wanted to get me like a real job and continue university. So it was a pure fight. It was like an actual, not like a yelling, but it was more like super frustrated. Yeah, I guess yelling to a degree. Um, and at the end of it, she actually cried, because I wanted to buy the sales online coaching programs from some random guy on the internet. And she was in real life corporate sales and said, Don't do that. Like, just finish uni, get a degree, and I'll get you a sales job because I know people, right? But it was my money. So seeing my mom cry, I don't know about you guys, but I grew up with a single mom. Seeing my mom cry, that was like, it was one of the most visceral, like, I can still picture it. I can still have that feeling. Like, it was the most painful thing because my mom worked so hard to get from the Philippines to Australia. And to see her cry and me making her cry, that was a moment of realization, like I said before, of like, I needed to make this work. Anyway, it's funny. This guy was waiting me for to pay like 20 minutes. And then I remembered he actually tweeted about it. And long story short, I paid like a $1,000 deposit at the time because my mom didn't give me money. Then a few days later, my mom paid me anyway because it was my money, and I paid the remaining amount, and I started this program. So it actually took 1 month for the program to start. For 1 month, I heard nothing besides, "Oh, we're gonna start next week. We'll start next week." So there's lots of uncertainty there. My brother and mom like heard about this for 4 weeks, didn't know what it entails, lots of uncertainty on like what it entails, did I get scammed, etc. Anyway, 4 weeks later, it eventually started, and I was told that there was going to be 3 2-hour coaching calls every single week. Sorry, not day. At the times I usually have dinner with my family, which is like 4 p.m., 6 p.m. In Filipino culture, Matt can agree to this, and you Filipinos here can agree. Having dinner with family, especially you live with them, is like number one priority. It's like you cannot skip dinner with families. So what I was doing, I was skipping dinner with families 3 times a week. My brother could attest to this because I would literally not be there for dinner. And I'll do live role plays, trying to do it as much as I can with the other guys. I also decided to defer university. So like technically take time off and only work at my job 1 times per week. So my mom was obviously super against what I was doing. But you know, I still live. Thank God she didn't kick me out or anything. I've heard stories of guys getting kicked out and stuff, but it wasn't a good spot for me. So I knew I had to make it work. You guys see where I'm getting from? Like, I was in pain that I need to make it work. I had these moment of realizations. I felt extremely guilty, disappointed in my mom, dropping out of uni. She worked so hard just for me to drop out of uni and work 1 time per week and earn $0. Like, next 2, 3 months, I was doing this coaching program, earning $0. Zero. Okay. You can see that. That was me. So then, yeah, I had these moment of realizations, right? Seeing my mom cry, her working so hard for my brothers and I to drop out of uni, stopped working my shift, stopped going to family dinners. My friends and family thinking I'm crazy. Like, what are you doing skipping dinners, dropping out of uni, earning $0? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Except my brother. My twin brother was the only one who knew what this was about. So you see, like, when I have these facts on the table here, I had these moment of realizations that I have no choice but to make it work. I have no other option. So during part one of this program, okay, I placed in the bottom of the leaderboard. So you had like assessment shit. I was the very bottom out of 8 guys. That also was a moment of realization. Like, fuck, like I'm doing all this just to be the bottom of the leaderboard. Fuck that. That means if I'm the bottom of the leaderboard, I'm the least guy to get an interview for a sales job. But part two of the program, I placed third out of the 8 guys, which was the best out of the guys with zero experience prior. Some of these guys in the program had previous sales experience. I didn't. Exactly. Your life, your choice. So this was landing my first role. Okay. So if I had to guess where I got lucky in my online journey, I think it would be landing my first role because there was this business opportunity, a coaching offer. I should have made that clear. That was mass hiring salespeople. So in the interview, I had no idea how to do an interview. I was just held up front and I was like, I have zero experience. This is my experience. This is my training. This is what I did. Blah blah blah. This is what I'm about. And they somehow took me. They somehow hired me as a closer. And I didn't even do any appointment setting. Usually the progression is you go to appointment setting, then closing. I somehow got into closing. That's where I got lucky. Okay. They had 5 guys at the same time with me. And at the top guys at this company were doing around 10,000 a month, like just scraping just 10,000 a month. Anyway, when I started, naturally I had zero experience. I was pretty bad. I was below average, nothing like too crazy where I get fired in the first week, but I was pretty bad. Okay. And here's the turning point. Here's the urgency. Okay. So 3 weeks into this role, my sales manager DMs me a screenshot of the founder of the company saying, fire all the bottom reps. And this was 1 hour before my weekly one-on-one meeting with my sales manager. So the founder of it was like a screenshot of the offer owner saying, fire the bottom reps. But it seemed like he sent the screenshot to me, right? So my heart dropped. I thought I got fired. I thought like this was it. Like, fuck all the BS I went through of skipping dinners and making my mom guilty. I was so scared of being fired. I remember like ranting to my brother, just like hell panicking, like full like panic attack. Not panic attack, but like panic mode. Um, and I was like, that can't be an option. Like, no way. Like, there's no way I'm getting fired. Like, how? Like, I did all that just to get fired. Like, fuck my life. Like, I was in that sort of zone. And you can see I tweeted about this, um, which is pretty funny. But thank fuck on that one-on-one call, he said it wasn't for me. It was for someone else. He deleted that DM. But that for me was another moment of realization. That was a turning point because the threat of being fired was actually real. Like I was so nervous after that, even though he told me like you're safe, I couldn't sleep. I felt like when I woke up that day, I felt like I still had that feeling of being worried. I felt like I had a tiger chasing me, trying to kill me 24/7. And that was actually a good thing. As much as like it sucked, it didn't feel good. It was actually a good thing because I was forced to find solutions. So what did I do? I studied the top guys. I bombarded them with questions. I didn't give a fuck if I was pissing them off or anything because I needed the results to not get fired because I didn't want to let my mom down, right? So I studied the sales methodology, which is Jeremy minus NEPQ. I looked at the course, looked at the YouTube videos, watched all the podcasts, like consumed myself, got obsessed to not get fired. Like that was like my life, right? Obviously, I mean, I still went to the gym and stuff, but I was so productive and I was so intense. Like it's just like that was my life, right? So in my second month of the offer, having zero experience out of 10 plus closers, I beat everyone. As you can see, I blurred the names out. But that's me at the top, Alfonso. And I even had less volume this week, for example. So this is a real thing. So do you guys see how like I had these moments that made me actually push myself to different breakthroughs, right? Before I was shit. When I started off, I sucked. Then I became the best guy. Before I was like towards this zone. Now I'm the best. So then this is the second part. This is like landing a second role and like taking risks and opportunity. Because since I was a top guy, most weeks on the offer, like there was like me and two other guys who are pretty good compared to the rest. I was the top most of the time, but not every single week. Um, a second opportunity came up from a friend. From the OG original coaching program I did, that I paid the $7,000 for. So this offer that I was on, or that opportunity came up, so there was a crazy on target earnings and said, oh, you're gonna earn XYZ, you're gonna earn 20K a month, blah blah blah. And I would be the first salesperson ever there. So it wasn't proven. He was saying a bunch of numbers like this is like what you're supposedly gonna make. So I was like, fuck it. Like I'm one of the best guys. Like if they wanted me back, they'll take me back any day, right? So I took time off that role and I decided to try this new one. And I have been on this offer ever since, which was actually September last year. So I've been here for 12 months now. My first month there, I hit 10K. Second month, hit 15K. However, I was hovering between the 13K to 18K month for the next few months. Like literally for the next, besides like December, January, maybe the next 6 months, like just around that. I was very comfortable, right? I was the only closer. I was the first closer. I was the best guy on the offer. I knew I wasn't the best sales guy ever, but I was comfortable, right? Then here another moment, like this is what I'm talking about. You need to have these moments of realizations to keep breaking through. So my next goal is like I want to be a sales manager, like my original sales manager, right? And I want to break past 20K a month. But at the same time, when you're earning 18K a month, it's like, do I really need to get to sales manager? Do I really want to get to 20K a month? Whatever, right? I didn't feel like the need to get there because I was quite comfortable. I managed to help out my family a little bit. I was earning some money. I was living with my mom still at the time. I was too scared to travel. That's a different story. But I was quite comfortable until another closer came in and literally beat me for the first time ever on this offer uh in his first month. He just beat me straight statistically. Previously to that, no one ever came close to me. There were some closers that came and go. They got demoted. Some got fired because they weren't even close to my numbers. And this guy literally beat me. So I had to look at myself in the mirror and realize I'm not doing enough, even though I think I'm good. And, technically compared to some sales guys, I'm doing good. I have to compare myself to myself. I'm not doing enough inputs to get the outputs. I've been stuck at 13K to 18K a month for way too long. My numbers aren't good enough. I've done too many calls on that specific offer. I've done too many call reviews just to get beaten. That means something needed to happen. That means I'm not doing good enough. And it's my fault. It's not like that guy got lucky because we're on the same leads, right? So then before, I had that tiger chasing me of being fired. Now I had this new tiger chasing me. Next month, I coincidentally hit that 20K a month, and I pushed myself to unreasonable standards and results I didn't even believe because I had this moment of realization. That's what I'm keeping coming down to. And I want to help bring you guys to. So was I lucky? Like maybe. I think the lucky part was I didn't do appointment saying I got straight into closing. Maybe. You can argue, many people can argue that that's still a bad way to do things. But of the 8 people in the original coaching program, only 3 of us got placed on jobs. I ranked number 3. So I got the job. And I don't think that was, I mean, I was lucky that they were only picking 3, but me being number 3 was not luck. And it's funny because this coaching program, I'm not going to name it, it doesn't exist anymore because they couldn't place people and they couldn't get good results. So many people got burnt on this program, even though it helped me a ton. Lots of guys got burnt. And if it was still a thing, I wouldn't actually recommend it. Of the 5 people, I said I joined on my first closing offer, my first sales role, 5 people that joined. The other 4 literally all got fired. I was the only one who stayed of that hiring round. That was not luck, right? On my second offer as well, although I did earn 10,000 my first month, there had been 5 other closers in the past 10 months, either got demoted or fired, or they left before they get fired type shit. So for the most part, it was just me closing on this offer for for ages, right? So even though I didn't have screenshots here, but I like doubled their cash collected with the same amount of call volumes. That's not luck. Over a month period, that's not luck. Because I was always extremely committed to being number 1 and the best. So where does commitment to be the best come from? And this is what I want you guys to be like. It's those moments of realizations that I had, right? With my mom, with dropping out of uni, with skipping dinners, with being fired, with some guy beating me, who I'm actually good friends with now. He's a great guy. The gap between where I am right now and where I should be, I realized is too far after knowing the facts of my situation. So where did the commitment to be the best come from? It's these visceral moments, right? I can still have that feeling. It's the feeling of a tiger chasing you, like almost being stressed, worried, nervous, anxious. These are good emotions to have because they'll force you to make changes. So like what I'm saying is you should chase that feeling as much as it's uncomfortable. That's exactly why you'll get rewards, because it's uncomfortable and most people aren't willing to do that. So the feeling like you have, it should almost be like you're sick to the stomach, that something is a must change, not like a should change, it's a must. And when you know the facts of your situation by having these moment of realizations, you'll have this feeling and you'll do what it takes to be the best. So the common mistake here is that, sorry, it's not that it should be external, but the common mistake that it's like an external moment of realization, like something happened to you. For example, like a gun pointed to your head. If you had a gun pointed to your head, you're gonna do what you're supposed to do. If someone says, work 7 days a week, gun point to your head, or you die, you're gonna work 7 days a week, right? So things like this are managers pretending to fire you, or someone beating you. So for example, those 7 months I was earning 13 to 8K a month, it had to be someone coming in externally to actually beat me for me to actually level up. You see how that's out of my control, someone coming and beating me. So it should all come internal is what I'm trying to say here. And that means getting specific on the facts of your situation, regardless of anyone else. So I was saying here before, yeah, it's like knowing my facts were that my numbers aren't good enough. I have to look at my numbers, look at how much it actually improved. Why have I stayed at this income bracket for so long? I've done so many calls, so much volume. My gap is too far. That's an internal thing. That makes me sick thinking about that. Staying at the same income for 6, 7 months in a sales role, yeah, that's kind of whack. So this is what I want to bring to you guys. Like, you should keep having these moment of realizations and you should like embrace it. So in order to make real changes, in order to really level up and, get to that point where you want to be, you need a strong enough pain or reason to. Everyone wants financial freedom. Everyone wants to travel around the world in private jets and be millionaires, right? But why is not everyone doing it? 99% of people never do it. It's because they don't have enough pain or enough reason to change. Like, there's no other option. And this is exactly how we actually sell people, right? So I gave you examples from me and my story, but ultimately you guys will have to go through them yourself. And it's going to be very personal and very specific to you as a human. I can't tell you what your moment of realizations are. You have to discover it in yourself. I can maybe guide you, but it's all on you really. So what you should do is like, you have to write down your current situation and get extremely specific and granular with where you're at right now and where you should be. Okay. Look yourself in the mirror and get specific. So it should be uncomfortable. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It should feel like you don't want to think about it. Like imagine me thinking, okay, I know you guys for maybe you earning 10,000 a month seems like a lot, right? But for example, if I was earning $5,000 a month, $2,000 to $5,000 a month for the past 7 months, I would that should make me feel sick. Like, why am I not improving? Or let's say I was at $2,000 a month for like 7 months. Like, I don't want to think about it. I don't look in the mirror, but it's like, fuck, that's the reality. Um, and the more specific and visceral and granular and clear it is, the better. And what I started doing recently, right? Because obviously for me, it's like it's not necessarily me getting fired, it's not me paying bills and stuff, but it's me like it's an identity-based thing of me getting to where I should be. I write down those moment of realizations and I read it twice per day. And the feeling you should have is like, yeah, you should feel so kind of sick in the stomach. That's when you know you're doing it right. You should kind of feel sick. And that's what I try and do. I try and this sounds weird, but I try and make myself feel sick in the morning. So I'm like, fuck, I need to have a high standard. I need to level up. I need to get better. So some common examples, again, it's going to be very different for everyone, but your income, like X is X 3 months ago and it's Y today. If it's like the same, like, did you actually make progress? You have to look at yourself in the mirror for that. How many hours did you actually put into the work? Did you really try your best? And why? Like, what does it mean actually trying your best? What were you doing? Did you slack off? Did you go on TikTok? Um, what did you sacrifice to do this as an entrepreneur? So something that I say to myself is like, I sacrificed all this. I sacrificed, doing uni, hanging out with friends. I sacrificed hanging out with family as well, just to be, a mediocre sales rep. Like, fuck no, right? And as much as I hate, like, yeah, I just sacrificed that, and I'm just earning X amount. That means I have to look myself in the mirror and like, okay, I have to get better. Heartbreak. Well, that's one as well that I recently gone through earlier this year. It's like, not necessarily my relationship didn't work out because I was working too much, but um, it's like it was a part of it, like a small part of it, and it's like I'm doing that, like I'm not even improving, and I like sacrifice a relationship, like that's whack. And then same thing with like the people who I thought cared about me, they're hating on me. Not that my mom hated on me, but she wasn't very supportive at first. Also, my friends thinking like, oh, you dropped out of uni, you're retarded, you're stupid. Just for me to like earn 2,000 a month, like that's whack. That should hurt you. That's looking yourself in the mirror. Also, if it's a financial thing, like if you have lots of bills, like look at the numbers. Look at how much are you actually saving each month? How much are you actually putting towards your dreams and traveling? How much are you actually helping out your parents? Are you not even helping at all? Are you helping them $100 a month, like for the past 7 months, and that hasn't increased? That should feel sick to you. And I mean, not saying that specific should feel sick to you, but there should be things like that that help you feel sick. That's gonna force you to level up. So it's actually a good thing that you feel sick about it. That's when you know when you're doing it right. When it feels sick and it feels uncomfortable, and the last thing you want to do is think about it, that's when you're doing it right. So doing what most people aren't willing to do, you'll get what most people don't have. So you have to do the actionable inputs to get those outputs. So even though I had very strong reasons to do this, like I was very clear on my why, right? I did whatever it took to be the best. That meant having no ego. I didn't care about my specific selling style. All I cared about was results and money. So that meant, like I said, bombarding, asking questions from the guys who have results, not feeling bad or cringe about asking them. Um, Also, everything's offer specific and niche. So you have to try and copy the top guy on that offer. Someone in a different offer, you don't want to copy him necessarily if they're in a different industry, right? And it's just like having that ego, even though this guy's more popular, but this guy has a different style. You want to pick the guy who has a different style because he's in the same industry you're in. Also, working harder than everyone. Working weekends, just being full obsessed, let it consume you, right? Spending time on a Saturday night doing things. And I did things like listening to sales training while I was at the gym. I didn't listen to gym hype up music anymore. I was listening to sales stuff. Rather than watching TikTok or Netflix, I would study, doing call reviews, listening to my calls, watching sales trainings. And the intensity of the implementation of feedback, you have to do it to an unreasonable amount where it like feels weird. For example, I never used to have like super high energy. And when my sales coach told me to have higher energy, like it felt weird to me. But I do it to an unreasonable amount because I had those moment of realizations. I was in a lot of pain, like looking at my situation that I felt sick, that I had to force myself to do it. And that can mean anything, right? So sending an extra email, a Loom, voicemail, setting an alarm to text someone at night. Like I've done those things. I also had a 4 hour Zoom call, a 4 hour close, which I tweeted about. And yeah, that's like most people aren't willing to do a fucking 4 hour call to get a close. And that's why most people won't have what they want, right? So this is like the how I want you guys to picture it if I was to explain it better. So this is not my concept. This is a concept from my mentor. It's the reality of leveling up, which is the gravity concept. So essentially, to be on the top 1% planet, and the 1% planet here means you have the rewards of 1%. You have the top 1% rewards. To be on the top 1% planet, you have to be from the 99% planet, where 99% of people are. You have to go through this bridge here. And this bridge is filled with barbed wire, glass walls, pain. You're going to be wanting to kill yourself. And it's a tough, tough journey. But once you're there at the top 1%, it's not all sunshine and rainbows because the gravity at the 1% planet is 5 times more. So to maintain the rewards of the 1%, it's actually harder. It's 5 times harder than this to maintain here. But the reality of leveling up is that you have to go through this bullshit to get here. And then when you're there, it's already hard. Like, although I'm earning, multi 5 figures a month in closing, it's like I'm not just like, sitting making sales calls by the pool. It's not that easy. I have to like full focus. I have to still level up. I have to review myself. I have to stay sharp. I have to sleep. I can't go in the nights out every day. I wish I could, right? With Matt. But that's the reality of the situation. So the thing is, when you do make it to this 1% planet, the concept is that there's a slippery slide that will take you back to the 99% planet. If you put one toe in, because you can't handle the gravity here, you're gonna go back here. And then it's gonna be even harder to get back to the next planet. So the discomfort of the top 1% planet, that's the reality of leveling up. So for my mentor who's earning millions a year, it's like the level of gravity he feels is like way more than I feel. And I feel like I'm feeling a lot of gravity, at my income level. And it just gets harder and harder as you keep leveling up and leveling up. That's why it was so hard for me to get past 20,000 a month, right? Obviously, 10,000 a month was very hard as well, but 20,000, that was very hard. The net, and then I have to keep leveling up. It's going to be even harder, right? And the truth is, reality doesn't care, and you deserve exactly where like you are where you deserve to be. And reality doesn't care because reality will give you the feedback that you're doing something right if your results are getting better. And that's the truth. That's a hard truth, which is so hard for me to realize. And I wish, like, surely some guys get lucky. Like, although that's the case, if you have this mindset, you'll be in a much better spot, and you'll take more accountability and you'll make it happen. You make the impossible happen. Okay, so that's in terms of like the moment of realization stuff and like the mindset stuff on like leveling up and getting just better and better and just having a higher standard. Um, because I can talk about appointment setting and stuff like that, but I think this is honestly way more important. If I had to give you advice, it would be more on the moment of realizations. And then the last thing I want to give you guys sauce is just how to ace all interviews. So right now I'm actually interviewing people for my offer to do more management stuff. So closers, appointment setters. I may shoot myself in the foot here because I'm not sure exactly how Matt teaches you guys to do interviews, but I can tell you from like a closing or outbound dialing perspective on hiring. This requires lots of balls. But ideally, the strategy is that you want to hold the frame and you want to be extremely confident in the conversation where you're actually the one interviewing them. You're the one asking them questions. It's going to sound kind of weird and it's going to sound uncomfortable, but this is if someone did this to me, I would be like, okay, I know you're about it. Because, and it should come from the frame of you're qualifying them to hire you. Like you're qualifying their company. Like, are you a worthy enough company for me to join you kind of thing? That should be the frame. Because you're the prize, you're the valuable guy, you're the setter, you're the closer, you're the representative. And you have to see if they're a good fit for you because you're so demanded and you have so many interviews lined up. Even though you may not have many interviews lined up, that should be the kind of vibe. Like you shouldn't care about the outcome. So the specifics on how to do it is once they ask you questions like, oh, cool, so what's your experience? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm gonna say this requires balls. What's your experience? You briefly say, yeah, my experience is this. Then you immediately ask them a question to control it. And you just push through. And then what you want to do is ask questions on specific numbers to show that you're trying to qualify them. Like, okay, what's the cash collected for the company? What are the top guys making? How many sets have you booked? How many of them close? How many leads per day? Like you want to ask them an unreasonable amount of questions, like you're hard qualifying them. And they'd be like, why is this guy asking so many questions when the other guys are interviewing are just answering my questions? So like they'll think, okay, something different with this guy. He's obviously vetting me out. Now the guy interviewing has to prove that the company is good enough for you. And then this is something that I personally want from the guys I'm hiring. It's showing intent that you'll be better than everyone and be number one, but not by telling them like, yeah, I'm here to be the best. I'm here to be number one. Everyone can say that, but it's about the questions you ask. So it's like, yeah, what's the top guy doing in numbers? Yeah, what's different about the top guy? He answers, and then before he asks you a question, you ask the next question like, cool, what do you see is the biggest mistake that the worst guys do? What do you feel like your top guy should be doing better? And then obviously you do it when you're there. Like, what do you feel like the best guy's not doing that you want to see him do? Okay, interesting. Like, what do you notice between the best guy and the worst guys? And the guys that give up, the guys who aren't a good fit, like what's up with them? It's coming from the intention, like, oh, I'm trying to be number one here. And it should feel like the person interviewing should sort of feel that from you. And that's how you can get jobs on the spot. Like if you can be extremely ballsy, I've heard this happen. And I know guys who've done this, you can actually close them on the spot, asking for the job and handling objections like normal sales. If I was to do an interview, I would definitely try and do that. I've never done it before, but I have hired guys. No one's ever like I'm never like hired someone because they asked me on the spot, but I'm interviewing guys, and this is what I sort of look for. Um, but that's pretty much it. I hope you guys learned in terms of the moment of realization stuff. I think it's the most important thing, and obviously some bonus sauce on like interviews. Um, so any questions?
Very well, boys. Boys and girls. Bands on twins.
Okay, so I'll go first if it's okay.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
Okay, okay. First of all, like that was some amazing value you provided there, man. Like I can totally relate with you. Like you said, you have those points, moment of realizations. Like if I talk about my situation, like after joining the Oracle, math helped me hop onto two offers. Both of them were fitness. One was purely fitness, second was functionality and fitness one. And I got fired within 5 days on both offers. And then I skilled up, I leveled up from there. I took those screenshots of those chats when the guy said, "Oh, you're not the right fit." If I can show you this one, the guy
What?
said, "Consider yourself removed from the offer. You're not the right fit." And the other person said, "Oh, it's nothing personal, but you're not the right fit." Okay, I'm sorry. Like the trial week was of 7 days, and I was getting fired on the fourth or fifth day. And I leveled up from there and learned a lot. And after after the third offer that I hopped on, I booked 11 calls in 3 days. Like that was my benchmark that I set. So yeah, the moment of realization are the thing that helps you keep going and level up.
100%, brother. Like that's good to hear.
Yeah,
And like as much as it's uncomfortable for you to like look at that, you should kind of look at that every day. It's like, people in the gym, they look at their text that their ex that dumped them. And that's like the
yeah,
best pre-workout. It's like you got to do the same thing but for business in a way. Um
yeah.
so
After
100%.
ge- yeah, after getting removed from the second offer, like it took me 1 month to land the another offer, the offer that I am on currently right now. So that 1 month, like I didn't give my enough. Like it was very hard for me to sleep, and like it was tough time. And then I realized once I get another job, I open to another job, I'm gonna crush it. Like the like the same situation with you, like you spend all your savings, now you have nowhere to go, you dropped out of university, you have to do it, you have to do it, you have to... that moment of realization is like if people it's the best thing to happen, to be very honest. It's like very depressing, but it's the very best thing to happen to a person at the same time.
100%. Yeah. And
Yeah.
like the thing that's crazy though, it's like although we have these moment of realizations of like getting fired and stuff, it shouldn't have to take you being fired to get these because that's an external thing. Um,
Hmm.
it should be more an internal thing, but it should be more like actually looking at your numbers. Okay, I've been here 3 weeks. I haven't set X appointments. Like, why? And it should make you feel sick. Like for me, if I don't make a sale in a day, I feel like sick. I like can't see. I'm like, fuck? Like what happened? And then I like try and diagnose the situation. Okay, I did this wrong, this wrong, this wrong. But if you never have that, then you won't do anything. You'll be comfortable. That's why
Mm.
for a long time I was comfortable in my income bracket, about 100%.
Yeah, to be very honest, I was very comfortable when I started appointment setting. Like, I was not investing in any like courses. I was like, oh, people are doing outbound. I can also do that and land the offer. Yeah, what a different thing with their teachers. Like on YouTube, when you search for appointment setting training, they make it sound very easy. Like, oh, even a monkey can do it if you know English, this, that. But when you like go to those trenches and experience it yourself, then you find out like that you have to invest in yourself. You have to take the risk. Like you want people to buy your program or anything. You want a job, but you are not. You want others to invest, but you are not ready to invest. That thought came into my mind, and that just clicked, and I went with maths course, Oracle course. He sounded most genuine to me, and yeah, I haven't regretted it a bit.
100%. And you should keep chasing those. Chase those moments of
Yeah.
realization. Chase the pain. Chase the stresses. Because that's what's gonna
Yeah.
get you to level up. And then because that's what I was talking about the gravity. To get the top 1% results, it actually feels harder there. But then you get the
Mm.
results. And that's what
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah. The
100%.
the question I wanted to ask you is
Yeah.
like how can I just improve my skills? Like I learned like how can I? You said you were listening to sales training and also in
Yes.
appointment setting field. How can I just level up my skills every day?
Well, the easy one is to find guys better than you and just
Okay.
learn from them and like just ask them questions. Like ask as many questions and actually implement the feedback to an
Mm.
unreasonable amount. Like I was talking about my energy thing. Before I used to be super duper low energy. I used to speak like this, but then I went like over the top, and now I kind of have like a middle ground, which is good. Um, that's my biggest advice. It's like find guys better than you and just
Yeah.
do what they say. Don't have an ego. Um,
Mhm.
if you care about results, you'll do what makes results, and that means it's been proven by other guys. Don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, I've done it a lots of time. Like I just ask people, oh, if someone put story, I booked 10 calls today. I'm like, can you send those screenshots over of those convos so it may help me out?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Just keep doing that. Yeah, until you become better
yeah,
than them, and you have to
yeah,
find
of
different
course.
places. Yeah.
Yeah, until the situation changes and they are asking me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that should be like the goal, the perspective you should have.
Stuff, bud. Anyone else got questions for Alfonso?
Yeah, so Alfonso, firstly, great presentation. Um, what you said actually resonated a lot with me because I'm currently a student in Asia as well. I'm a computer science student and
Yeah.
I'm currently on a setter manager role. But the thing is, like, the income cap is pretty low on setting itself. And I did try to go to closing, but they required like crazy time zones. I had to be awake at like 2, 3 a.m. So I was wondering like what is the time commitment like? Like, is it possible for someone with management and setting experience to go into closing while he's a student in Asia?
It's 100% possible. Like if you have those moment of realizations where you feel like so sick, it's like you have to make it work. You may have to
Mhm.
sacrifice a bit of school or studying, maybe. I don't know if you can do all three in terms of like be a top 1% student, top 1% setter manager, and close top 1% closer at the same time. That'd be pretty difficult to do, but 100% it's possible. You just got to weigh out which is more important for you. Because if
So
if
like,
being a closer and making money is really important, like
mhm.
you wouldn't do school. I had so much pressure to do university from my parents, but even though I was living with them, thank God I didn't get kicked out, but I dropped it to do closing full time and earning $0 doing this coaching program. So I prioritize that.
How many hours would you say like a full-time closing role requires you to commit?
Um, for me, it's like how much money do you want to make? You can be an average closer earning, 5,000 a month or whatever, working 6 hours a day. But if you want to be good, There's like the closing time, then there's like the study, reviewing, improving time outside of
Hmm.
calls. If you want to be good, like fucking put, like my brother can say this. I put like 12 hours when I was starting. To this day, I still sometimes put 12 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. The more you
I
put in,
see.
the
All
more
right.
you get. It's that simple. It just depends on how badly you want it and how fast is that tiger chasing behind you.
Yeah, the thing is like I have like 1.5 years to graduate, so like I'm more than halfway there. So
It's funny you
like
say that. I didn't put
yeah,
this in my presentation, but me and my brother and I, we were 2 years into our degree with 1 year left. We're actually two-thirds of the way and dropped out. Imagine my mom hearing that. You're 1 year left, just graduate, just graduate. I dropped. It wasn't easy. Like it was a tough, there
mhm.
was so much uncertainty. I didn't know. If you asked me back then where I'd be, I would not expect to say where I'm at now.
I see.
So
All right,
you,
all
you
right.
have
Thanks
to
for
weigh
that.
your options. Like obviously I'm biased. I'd say go all in, but it's really up to you.
All right. Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, like if I talk about my situation, like I also dropped out of university and like in in mid graduate, I also had 1.5 year left to graduate, but I just dropped out. But my parents were supportive at the same time, so that wasn't an issue. As for the timing, you said like you have to stay awake till 2 a.m. To if I talk about my situation, I work overnight every day because I'm from India and I have to work in Western time zone, and that's like 9.5 hour early before. So I've been working for like 6 months. I've been working overnight. My day starts at 10 p.m. on
Mm,
my time, and I work till 7 a.m. in the morning. So it just depends upon how badly you want it. Are you able to
so true.
take risks? Are you what you can sacrifice? Like as Alfonso said himself, like he wants to go to night outs with math, but due to work, he put that on his top priority, and so it just depends upon you how badly you want it.
Yeah. And like the thing that's stopping you is going to be those nerves and limiting beliefs, like I said.
Mm,
But the thing to know is like it's supposed to feel hard. It's supposed to feel uncomfortable. You're supposed to not want to do it, right? Because that's the easy option. But you're supposed
yeah,
to feel those
and
nerves and then just do it anyway.
yeah, and
And,
when
and if the
you
tiger's chasing you, you'll do it anyway.
yeah, and when you get to that point when you achieve your goals, it will be the most satisfying thing you will ever have in your life. So it's gonna be worth it in the long run. And so just
100%.
keep at it, and yeah.
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 Endurance, you have a
Our,
question?
yeah, you got a question.
Well, Alfonso, that was a great presentation.
Cheers, brother.
Like this story, everything's identical to me, from mom to college, feeling, stomach, everything. So, my question is, Ella, you mentioned that you're a manager or you manage sales teams. So, what do you look specifically in a setter?
So my role, I'm not technically the sales manager. I'm like sort of training to be one. So I'm like the top closer at my team. My team's gone big where there's like 10 people that I'm doing managerial type roles, but I'm still full-time closing. But I'm starting to do interviews now, like interviewing for other closers and stuff that my
So,
offer owner tells me.
so what traits are you looking for?
What was the question? Sorry.
What traits are you looking for?
Yeah, like I said, it's just like the intent to be number one. I think first of all, you have to go through the initial application, um, the numbers or whatever, right? But once you get past to the interview with me, I'm just looking for people who have intent to be number one and feel like they have such high standards that they'll benefit the team by bringing a new standard to the team. And how you do that, it's not by saying, "Oh, I'm here to be number one. I'm here to be best." Everyone's gonna say that. It's more about having the intent, but actually trying to be number one by like asking questions. Like I said, I think it's like when you're asking questions, you're trying to vet out the company. You're trying to ask a lot about the top guy and trying to pick his brain. Or as a sales manager, okay, what are you looking for? What do you notice from these guys? What do you notice he does differently? What does he do? What doesn't he do well that you feel like he can improve on? The top guy or the top guys. The worst people, what do they do? What do they get wrong? How can I stay as far away from being the bottom guy and be the top? Like, you ask questions like that. That's because you're showing your intent to be like you. Like if someone did that to me, which no one has, I'd be like, this guy is a killer. I want him on my team. That's what I'd say I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
that's great. I'm going to use that. I have an interview in an hour. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, it's ballsy. It's ballsy, but no one, that's the thing. No one has the balls to do that. And you'll stand out for sure. You just don't want to do it. You don't want to overdo it or be weird about it. You want to push. Some guys obviously will know what you're doing. You don't want to push too hard. Yeah, endurance is for a reason. Like, yeah, just they ask you a question, just like answer it, and then you try and start asking questions. They might say like, "Oh, I'll answer that question, but like I have my questions. Like, you can ask questions at the end. That's fine. But still push for it anyway. So it's like you're vetting them out. You're interviewing them. That should be the vibe. Obviously, someone tried to do that to me. I wouldn't let that happen. But to like a normal not normal, but like to an average person, they'll probably fall for it. And here's the
Nice.
thing, right? I don't want you guys to think like it's a trick. It should actually come from within. Like it should actually come from the heart. It should be legit. Like you have so many interviews that you're vetting out people and you're asking them and you want to be the best. It should come from like that. Not because it's a trick that I told you guys to do. Yeah, exactly. Don't fake it. Because you can smell if you fake it.
Yeah, guys, it's just a question of do you actually want it or not? And if you do, then you're gonna go all the way to get it, right?
Yeah.
It's just gonna naturally come out of you. If you don't want it, then you're not gonna be going that bold. You're not gonna be participating that much, asking the questions. So I'd have to agree as well. That's actually really good. Um, if someone were to ask me that or hit me with that sort of approach, then I wouldn't say I'd fold. I'm not gonna fold, but I would have a lot more respect, and they'd at least worst case scenario, I'd remember them a lot more than any other applicant. So you guys go give that a try. I think we have time for one, maybe two more questions, and then we'll wrap up. So whoever else
Yeah, I
is
have one question.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, like now, like every like offer, like every salesperson or manager, or they run the job application forms, right? So we have to fill those form out, then they will select you for the interview. So any tips on how to like get selected for the interview, how to get your form selected? Because I've filled around 10 forms till now, but I haven't got selected for interview once. So
Yeah, okay. So with my company, there's no like form we put out. It's more like referrals. Um,
mm,
so if you're filling forms, everyone fills a form, right? This is what I would if I were to go back, because I know guys doing this. I can't say I've done this because I haven't, but I know guys who've done this and got so many interviews, is to do a personalized Loom video of like a personalized one with your face in it. And you have to be super confident. And just like what I was talking about the interview, you have to show your intent to be number one. I don't know the exact script to do it, but you know, if you're in a job applicant or if you put an application, everyone puts an application. Who actually is gonna post a Loom video of themselves? Not as many. Yeah. I think Matt teaches this 100%. If I saw a list of applicants and some of them just filled a form saying, "Oh, I've closed 3 million in cash," but there's a guy with less money and he on a Loom video, he has his face in it and he's ballsy and he has intent to be number one, and I feel the energy, I would rather interview that guy because
like I've
I
also
can
tried
train him
that
well.
filming. I've
Yeah.
done the Loom videos and also have like provided that on the forms, and also they say yeah, record yourself and send the Loom video. I've done that, but still like I didn't got selected. Like there might be some problem with my Loom video. Like it's just a quick 1 minute one. So if you want, I can just screen share and show it to you, and you can tell me if I should tweak a things up.
I think I think say if you were gonna wrap up on time soon, so if you
Yeah, I mean,
want,
you can send me a
just
DM.
message
Okay,
privately,
okay, for
bro.
sure, for sure. Okay, okay.
Yeah, and I want to give room to anyone else who wants to ask questions. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, sure, sure. That will
Alfonso,
be fine.
we go look at it. I think it's pretty good, to be honest.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Any last one before we wrap up?
Yeah, I have a question. I have a
Yeah, go
question.
ahead, Toby. Okay,
So
we'll do
one,
endurance after, and that's it.
all All right. So one thing I've been thinking about because I've been sending DMs consistently on Instagram, and a lot of them I seem to get left on scene or I don't really get a reply. So what would you suggest I should do in order to like get more replies, more responses, more positive responses? I would say is best.
Yeah. Okay, so I know this definitely works. Get a verify your Instagram account if you haven't already. Mine's not even verified, right? But I know guys who do this, and if you see a blue tick, you're more likely to respond to it. It's probably what, $30 a month to verify, and have like a decent Instagram. Like
It's not
people should
even
know who
that.
you are. It's like just have photos.
It's
Yeah,
like $7, $8 per
yeah.
month.
It's
That's
yeah. I didn't
yeah,
even know. I should get mine verified. That'd be the first thing
yeah,
I'd say to do. That's an easy fix.
yeah. Join the gang.
And then the other one, it should be, yeah, like you should be sending personalized videos on Instagram like that on your phone,
Yeah,
not
because
just
I know I
a
did try
DM that
something
everyone
like
else
that
does.
once. I
Hmm?
know I did try that and I didn't seem to get many responses. So
Then it may be because the
like
thing is, if you don't sound confident, it may hurt you to actually do those
all right, no
videos.
problem.
You have to do it if you sound super confident and very convicted in yourself, like you want to be number one. You're absolute straight killer.
All
So
right, no
it could be
problem.
a problem with that. Or if you're less comfortable with doing face, you can even do like a voice note and a
Well, I
text.
don't really have a problem with doing it on face. I do that a lot, so I'm not really uncomfortable with that.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, if you're doing the Loom, it's gonna be way better than doing just text.
All right, thank you.
I'll just keep doing that. Yeah. And
Could you
get it
just
reviewed as well. Get it reviewed by Matt or even me if you DM me, I can review it.
You can
all right,
chuck it
thank you,
in the
no
group.
problem.
All right, endurance, last one.
Yeah, so when I'm looking for an offer, should I only look for inbound leads or outbound?
I mean,
So
inbound's
far,
obviously gonna be, if I'm not mistaken, inbound's gonna be easier, right? In
yeah,
DMs.
yeah,
I think you shouldn't care too much. I think you just care about like gaining the skills um of both because they're slightly different. And it's ultimately the offer itself, whether it's inbound or outbound. Some people can print with inbound, some people can print with outbound. It just depends on the other factors of the offer, like more, I guess, the marketing. Is the offer actually good? Are the influencers legit? Stuff like that. That's probably more important. I don't think it matters if it's inbound or outbound necessarily. Or maybe Matt can talk on this better.
No, I agree. I think just in the beginning, do something what I call experience stacking, and then it just gets easier from there, to be honest. Because then you'll naturally get the inbound role because like all the guys that have not all the guys, I'm not making a generalization, but most of the people nowadays who are hiring for inbound roles, they want someone who could just they can trust and rely on, can actually get the job done. And they're not gonna really want to pick a noob, right? So yeah, just experience stack, get on our first few shitty offers. In the beginning, you can literally I talked about this 1, 2 weeks ago. We might have to or we can experiment. Um like literally get on a shitty offer for a few days or a week and then hopping off and then using that as a way to say experience. But anyway, I'd have to agree with Alfonso.
Yeah, it
Stack the
doesn't matter.
skills.
Like just get the experience.
Yeah. Well, guys. Yeah, good questions all around. And yeah, well, I appreciate you, Alfonso, for hopping on. Appreciate you, Mateo. Good to see you again, bro. Let's get steaks next week.
Yeah, for sure.
As always, keen for that, keen for that. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. You guys took a lot of value from it and you start having a lot more because I did I'm starting to have more of those moments of realization too. Again, it's coming back to me, and I will make it an exercise and a habit to think about those again because that's ultimately, if I look back to what got me the furthest, is pain. It's usually more pain than pleasure,
Yeah.
and use that to your advantage, guys. It's not comfortable, but it gets the job done. So know where you're lacking, know when you're slacking off, know when you need to do better, and then just be so disgustingly discontent with that you actually force yourself to level up and then just rinse and repeat. Other than that, be coachable, be confident, have conviction, use the group for help, and yeah, keep at it, be consistent, and you're not going to be that far off from us, guys. To be honest, you're not honestly not that far off from us, guys. You might feel like it, but you're not. Honestly, we're just normal human beings at the end of the day. We're just young guys that run a business and have worked on ourselves and sometimes like to fuck around here and there, have a bit of fun. But anyway, good call today, boys. Good call today, girls. And yeah, if you have any more questions, you can ask me in the school. If you wanna shout out your socials, Alfonso
Yeah, it's just my name,
and
Alfonso
Mateo.
Banzon. Yeah, on Instagram, Alfonso Banzon, and my brother's is Mateo Banzon. We also have a twin Instagram as well. Have a
Been
look at
blowing
that.
up lately. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you boys check those out, okay? And you go follow those guys. Show them a lot of love. But yeah, boys, I hope it was a valuable call, and I gotta wrap up now. Try to get another guest call next week. One of my students, Joe Tran, he's been killing it lately, so you can ask him. He's someone who might be like literally 1 or 2 steps ahead of you, so it might be better. But it's not better, but it's gonna be different. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. So see you in the next one. See you next week, and call recording will be uploaded. All right, peace.
Easy. Peace.
See you, boys.
Peace. Bye bye.
Easy, easy.